I hate cables. Hi, I'm Steve. Welcome to my studio. Cables. For me, they're a necessary evil. No matter how I wrap them, run them, or tie them, they always end up exactly where I don't want them. And being 100% USDA klutz, I step on them, trip over them, and pull them out constantly. For that reason, I've always used a wireless system, even before I was playing in bands. This was my first wireless system, the Samson Concert Series, in all its VHF glory. This thing operated on the grand frequency of 181.6 megahertz. It was nice and noisy. This squelch knob here on the back was definitely necessary. Now, one thing I loved about this system was that here on the volume knob, about 6 was unity gain. So that meant anything other than that was extra signal, which meant I could drive the front end of my amps harder. And at the time, I didn't have an overdrive pedal. I don't even think I knew they existed. So I loved this. You know, in retrospect, it's kind of like what Angus used to do with his Schaefer Vega diversity system. Now, I know I've said this several times, but it's a great time to be a guitar player. Advances in technology have given us so many affordable options in pretty much every category. But today, I'm talking about wireless. Until somewhat recently, good wireless performance usually came with a pretty hefty price tag. And even then, an expensive wireless system didn't guarantee a good sound. Digital wireless has been on the scene for quite a while now, and there are a lot of options. Many of them operate in the 2.4 gigahertz frequency range, which is the same as your mobile phones, laptops, Wi-Fi routers, iPads, and pretty much everything else that's running Wi-Fi. It's getting a little bit crowded. And then here comes this company, XVive, with a wireless system that operates in the much less crowded 5.8 gigahertz frequency range for roughly a third of the price of a similar system from a higher-end competitor. So how good can it really be? Let's find out. Now, for full disclosure, XVive sent me this system for me to check it out and tell you fine folks about it. Now, I've been seeing them online and have been really curious, so of course I said yes. Now, I'm not getting paid to make the video, but they did send me the system, so in that regard, it is a paid review, but all opinions contained here are strictly my own. Now, I'll put my Sweetwater affiliate link down in the description below, so if you'd like to check out the P58 or any of the other gear I'm using in this video, if you choose to make a purchase using my link, I'll earn a small commission, and that helps me to keep this channel going. Thanks. So let's dive in. The P58 system comes with this transmitter, which plugs directly into your guitar. It also comes with a receiver pedal that also doubles as a tuner, a 12-volt power adapter, and this little USB-C cable that you can use to charge your transmitter. Now, starting with the receiver, I'm really impressed with the build quality. This isn't some cheap plastic trinket. This thing's made of metal. Its circuits gleam. Wrong video. And it has a built-in tuner. We'll check out how accurate the tuner is in just a few minutes. Now, this button right here allows you to select the frequency at which your system's operating. And it also includes a feature that I haven't seen very often on less expensive systems. If you hold down the channel select button, it will automatically scan through all of its frequencies to find a frequency that's not being used by something else. Now, this is super helpful and it works great. And then from there, you just dial into the same frequency number on your transmitter and you're good to go. Now, another cool feature on the receiver is this USB-C port. This allows you to connect your transmitter so that you can charge it right here from the receiver. You'll also notice the input jack here. This is for in case your transmitter runs out of a charge or, God forbid, you forget to put the transmitter in your guitar case, which I can see me doing. Just plug straight into the tuner. It deactivates the wireless portion of the pedal and it operates as a tuner. And finally, this little switch on this side allows you to switch between true bypass and buffered output. Personally, I use it on true bypass, but if you got a bunch of pedals or a long cable run between your receiver and your amp, the buffered output could come in useful. Now, that's a lot of thought to go into a $250 system, and we've barely even looked at the transmitter yet. Now, the transmitter is an all-in-one deal here. It just plugs directly into your guitar and then tucks up here out of the way. And you can see, even on a Strat, which has a jack up on the face of the guitar, I can swing my whammy bar around and it clears the transmitter completely. Of course, on a Les Paul or another guitar with a bottom-mounted jack, it just sits down here out of the way. Now, I do have my concerns about knocking the wireless here and breaking it off inside the guitar, but that's because I'm a klutz. Many, many years ago, I did exactly that. I broke the plug off of my wireless transmitter cable as I was getting on stage to start a gig. Tripped, fell, boom, it was broke, and I was embarrassed. Thankfully, it was nothing that a very determined roadie named Brotherman with a pair of needle nose pliers and a spare guitar cable couldn't fix. Now, another really thoughtful addition here on the channel switch, if you hold this down, you'll see another light will eventually light up. That now puts this in active mode, so it's set to work with a guitar with active pickups. Again, super forward thinking and very useful. So let's see how accurate this tuner is. To test this, I'm running directly out of the receiver into my ST300 turbo tuner from Sonic Research. These are known to be extremely accurate. Okay, it says it's in tune. So now I'm going to move the camera over here on this tuner and we'll see. And there you go. So it appears this tuner is very accurate. Now let's hear the P58 in action. Today I'm plugged into my Marshall Vintage Modern through some EVH greenbacks. This amp is really sensitive to different guitars and noise issues, so I figured it would be a good choice here. Okay, so here's the tone I've got dialed in. Okay, let me turn the effects off so we're just listening to the tone. There we go, much better. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with the cable. Okay, that was with the cable. Now we're going to plug in the P58. Well, technically, the transmitter's called the A58, but you know what I mean. Plug that in. Turn it on. Turn off the mute. Once again, I'm going to turn off the effects. Okay, this is with the P58 system. Now, right off the bat, I'm hearing an increased presence in the upper mids. I used the P58 the other night on a gig using my Kemper rig, and I noticed the same thing, but I thought that it might be because I had made some adjustments to the pickup height on that guitar. But I'm hearing it here on this guitar as well, so that's clearly not the case. Now, as for what that feels like, a few weeks ago, I did a review of my Les Paul studio session, and I mentioned that the 57 Classic Plus pickup in the bridge position of that guitar was a little brighter than I'm used to, but that it still sounds fantastic. This is exactly the same. Now, it's not at all uncommon for wireless systems to kind of dull your tone a little bit. So if you don't really like this little bit of added brightness, it's a lot easier to bring down a little bit of 3K than it is to try to add frequencies that aren't there in the first place. For my taste, it didn't bother me at all. If anything, it gave me a little more cut, and that's always a good thing. Okay, now let's hear it with some effects. I'm gonna kick in some delay and reverb on my Fractal VP4. To be completely honest, I am really impressed. I remember in the old days of wireless, the transmitter had this long dangling antenna. Your receiver had this big old school antenna, and the reception was just, There's none of that here, and the reception is excellent. This thing's great. So, have you switched to one of the newer digital wireless systems? If so, what are you using and how's it working for you? Are you longing for the days of companding, hiss, and dropouts? Let me know down below in the comments, and as always, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.